It's going to come down to this last tack. Australia coming through underneath Japan. Japan will have to keep clear. Can he keep clear of Slingsby? Where has Slingsby come from? He's found some breeze, and it's Ainsie in a big gust of wind at the top. One more tack to do for Ainsie. These boats have completed the tack. It's going to come down to this final tack in here. Can Ainsie stick it? Here he goes. Needs to stay on the foil. Whoa! He's fought the wing too late. Oh, Parkinson. No, they fluff the tack. It's all about the re-acceleration here, the tack under pressure.
And how about this? The Danes are going to come back from behind. They were in 4th place and falling back. And as they come to the line in light breeze, it will be Denmark claiming the win in front of the home crowd.
Slingsby through at the finish to 2nd and on the line. Oh, I can't call it. I think it's Burling in 3rd. Oh, it came down to one tack, the money tack, and they missed it.
That's how we do it. What a finish, holy moly.
Australia went from possibly not racing today to leading this race, and looks like they're on the way to a win in race 1.
They're going well. They were late getting the board down there, Todd. When we come back, it'll be interesting to see how they look.
Boundary penalty, Australia.
Yeah. That's 20 metres they're going to have to lose relative, but more importantly, they're off the foils. The penalty's not going to matter. The speed they've lost, they're struggling to get the board on the left-hand side of our screen down in the last 2 manoeuvres. That was the board that had a problem in the last race.
And look how close it is now as you talk about it on course. Emirates GBR, and they are now stuck in the water.
They're off the foil. Someone's overboard, Todd. Someone's overboard. Oh my word, that looks like the fairing's broken. Yep. They're trying to reach through, and he's just clearly, whoa, disaster for Emirates Great Britain. What a moment there. Opens the door for the French. Quentin de la Pierre chasing down hard after the Australian crew. Slingsby won't want any more manoeuvres to do here. That board's not working possibly. Here we go, watch this. 2 more manoeuvres for Australia, 1 more manoeuvre for France. The Aussies can't get that board up. Big issues. Australia has the right of way here at the mark. Oh my word, they're having to think on their feet now, Tom. Oh my lord, the boat jumps out of the water.
And look at the Americans on the inside.
Oh, it's a sprint now, but Australia, they're sailing with an arm tied behind their back at the moment, Todd. Unbelievable that they're managing to hang on here as France drive to the finish. Spithill drives to the finish. Who's going to get there first?
Neck and neck as they come to the finish line here in race number 1 in Sydney. And the win will go the way of the French. Quentin de la Pierre pulls a rabbit out of his hat.
Wow. Unbelievable by the French to get through there, but how the Australians have finished 3rd. Look at the French boat leaping across the finish line there. What a race. There's some serious issues on these boats right now.
Facing backwards in a manoeuvre.
And he gets, oh, look at that.
Apologise for the language there, quite understandable. I hope you can think he's just fallen through. Scary moment on board, and you see the hobble, the safety seat. We see there the turning, the G-forces in the turn, and that's just super lightweight plastic film there. It's just a fairing, it's just for boat speed, but of course he fell on it. There's no structural support there. He's straight through it, Todd, and yes, such a scary moment. It just shows that new safety system works pretty well, but he is fine. That's the good news. He'll be sailing in the next race. Olympic gold medalist in a rowing boat. I think he'd probably like to be back in his rowing boat right now. Tom Slingsby this year, he's so much more interested in that consistency. He knows he wants to keep himself at the top of the leaderboard. Been over the top of the leaderboard for over a year now. There you go, French not laying. That says to me Australia think they've got a shot at the French here. Could be one last manoeuvre to make. Push it all the way to the boundary on board Australia, and then when they come back together with the French, it'll be Australia with the right of way, but he's going to need to go very, very fast to pressurise the French from here.
Here come the Fighting Roos on leg 5 of 7 in the podium race. Can they track down the French? Great Britain having their own issues on the other side of the course.
Potential wing seat issue like this. Again, milking. Yep. Spot.
Right now, Todd, this is setting up France now. When they turn, they have to watch out for the Australians. Australia has the right of way, and they've got to watch out for them. Australia's back in the race here. It's going to have to be a perfect manoeuvre by the French. I expect contact here. I think Slingsby's back in this. Here we go. Ooh. Oh, and Great Britain's back in it as well. Big manoeuvre for the Australians. He's got to spin it in front of the French. Great Britain's going to be on the inside. This is going to go down to the wire here. Whoever hits that circle first. Can Australia be ahead?
It's going to be really tight.
It is really tight indeed as they all get together.
Great Britain has the right of way on the inside, but they will be slowest. French, the ham in the sandwich, and around the outside it's Australia.
From third to first, Great Britain takes the lead on leg 6 of 7.
Oh my Lord, what a move by Ainsley, and the French are off the foils, they're out the race. It's now a battle between Ainsley and Slingsby for the title here in Dubai. 40 metres in it, one last leg to go. Here we go, look at this on board Great Britain. They're on the inside. We can see they're just overlapped inside Australia, so they have the right of way. Oh, what a move by Ben Ainsley. Can he break his duck? I don't know, it's going to be a sprint here. Look, the Australian boat looks fast. Great Britain, there's possibly 2 more manoeuvres to do before the gate, but the roos are faster.
56 kilometres an hour there for the Australians. While the British team are slower, it is neck and neck as they sprint towards this bottom gate.
There's going to be 2 more manoeuvres to do before they get to this final gate here, and that will be absolutely decisive. Control lies with Ben Ainsley and Great Britain. This is a classic match race situation. Here we go. No
Australia makes a maneuver. Let's check in down in the water with Lisa.
This is crazy. I'm following the boats down to this final gate and it's neck and neck. Australia are sailing a higher, faster mode and they're trying to dictate the British team. So it's going to come down to the last manoeuvre here.
Oh, Australia's turn first. Australia, Great Britain have missed the foil drop. The inside goes to Slingsby.
Oh, that'll be it.
Apologies for the language. Massive mistake by Great Britain. Tom Slingsby. What a sense of timing that man has.
And for the Australians, it is back to their winning ways as the Fighting Roos bring it home for a victory in Dubai.
Oh, apologies for that language there, but that's just pure exhilaration overcoming them at the finish. What a moment, and for Great Britain and Ben Ainsley,
I cannot believe what we just saw. The French had it in the bag, then Ben Ainsley had it in the bag, and they all forgot about Tom Slingsby, the 2-time reigning and defending champions. You look at this, Australia started out this regatta with an 8th and an 8th before they got on their winning ways, and here they are winning the whole thing.
Oh, you're welcome, Dubai. What a race.
They go from 3rd to 1st, and you're thinking it's all on them, and really the body language says it all.
Just what a leg. Not even the whole race, just what a leg.
Canadian crew, it was a bad choice by the British crew. Look, they're back in here, only 50 metres apart. Good jibe by the British. They're now back in control of things, but that was a mistake by the British, and Robertson's pounce tight as we come downwind.
It was very interesting that we had our tactical talk of Ainsley, and he said looks lighter this way, and he was right. It was lighter, and that's why the Canadians are back into them.
He's off the foils on the British boat. This is an opportunity for Canada. Can he go round the outside, stay on the foils? This could be a big moment for this fledgling Canadian crew. Ainsley's got to keep clear. He's got to keep clear, you hear? Got to keep clear.
Protest coming.
Okay, I am watching the penalty flags. Phil Robertson protested Ben Ainsley 3 times. Let's see what the umpires have got to say about that.
That's the voice of Chris Draper there, trying to calm Phil down. Phil, match race world champion, but he loves those aggressive situations.
Canada, Spain, Great Britain, France, and Switzerland. No penalty assessed on Great Britain. As Canada now takes the lead with Spain in 2nd. Great Britain, who had that sizable lead, moves back to 3rd. Remember, this is like 5 of 7.
Well, this is a tough moment for the British crew now. They're in the turbulent wind of the boats ahead. It's going to make them slower. Canada, the fastest boat on the race course at the moment, as Australia still try and lose the penalty versus New Zealand. Surely that penalty will be clear soon, but back with Canada. What a moment for this new crew. Georgia Lewin there, tactician on the back. Phil Robertson in training's been calling her Speedy G. 49er FX European bronze medalist, but she's a Canadian and she's really doing a good job tactically.
That's a very fast boat now. Yeah, I'm super happy being first.
That's the voices of Phil Robertson and Chris Draper talking to each other there, happy with how they're sailing.
And you could hear Phil Robertson saying, I'm super happy.
It's a big moment here. New Zealand look to dive inside. Big losers on that upwind leg of Great Britain. They've gone from first and they're now back in 6th position. Disastrous upwind for the British. Falling off the foils, it's New Zealand. And wow, these are not some of the teams we expected at the back. Australia propping up the fleet at the moment.
Australia finishing 4th in race number 1, and right now they sit in 9th place behind Denmark and Switzerland.
Gonna take something pretty magic for the Australian crew from here.
Crazy how these things turn around, guys. I mean, you looked at Great Britain, Canada, the USA, dominant in race number 1, and now the Americans back to 4th, but it's Canada leading this race.
Have a look now, Todd. You see the speed of the Spanish. They fell off the foils. They lose speed. They're going to lose places. It's as simple as that. Look, the Spanish, this is a disaster. One mistake and it can all go wrong. And right now, so fast, it's the Great British crew. They look like they found more wind because they've got more speed. This could be the comeback moment for Ben Ainsley's British crew. He will be on starboard tack. You can see some 400 metres behind Canada, but Canada are gone. Jimmy Spithill in 4th. It's tight coming down to the finish.
That really is an example of how shifty this Bermuda race course was. That was the side of the first downwind where Ainsley lost his lead effectively. He's rolled the dice, gone back out there and gone from 7th, and he's climbing the leaderboard. Let's see where he gets to the last bottom gate.
Nathan, your thoughts as they finish up leg 6 of 7.
Yeah, that's all happening out on the racecourse right now. It's amazing when you get just a tiny bit in front how easy it is, but Ben Ainsley made a mistake at the bottom mark, and the fleet's, swallowed him up here. And, Lisa and I just keep watching the racing out here as they approach the top mark, and it's so different to last season. The fleet is so close and so compressed.
Our apologies for the delays in getting to and from Nathan Outteridge as we are bouncing this signal literally around the world. But right now, the only thing bouncing around Bermuda is Canada, as they have gone to a top speed of over 68 kilometers an hour. And Phil Robertson and the Canadians are on their way to picking up their very first win as we look at all the chaos behind them. France now in 2nd, Great Britain in 3rd, but here comes Jimmy Spithill in 4th.
It's a really slow manoeuvre by Great Britain. He's got to give room for Spithill here. There's going to be a protest. Wow, Spithill has to avoid a collision. Burling coming through. If he can stay on the foils, this could be a 3rd from nowhere. Big error.
Umpires, penalty, GBR, relative USA, taking room to which they're not entitled.
I've got to say, on this occasion, I do agree with Chief Umpire Craig Mitchell there. He's going to have a huge penalty. He has to drop behind the US crew. This is a massive penalty.
But look at the loss for the Americans, though. As they come off the foils, they are dead in the water, and they're passed by not only New Zealand, but Spain and everyone else. They were in 3rd.
Yeah, and what a moment for New Zealand. They were at the back of the pack early in the race. That's a huge comeback for Burling. He needs it. He really does need it. But Quentin de la Pierre's French crew, fantastic performance from them. And this is going to hurt Ainsley and his British crew from 1st, and he's going to end up somewhere near 8th in this race.
So Canada gets the victory in race number 2, while the get-together with Great Britain and the USA was happening. Phil Robertson brings it across the line. France bounces back from 9th to 2nd in race 2.
Another consistent performance by the young Spanish crew there. Really mature performance, really, in that race.
Is it me or just, I know I keep repeating myself, but does one extra boat on this race course just feel like the chaos has doubled?
I think, and the standard getting higher, Freddie, as well. Here we go, it's tight at the finish, just diving in 8th. The British, they tried to do a complicated manoeuvre at the bottom, lost a lot of course. I think the standard's gone up, Fred, as well. These teams are just sailing the boats better. They're sailing, they're all closer, and that just makes it a lot harder. 5 seconds for the line to go white. New Zealand and Australia look to have timed things well. Who can get foiling first? That will be crucial. New Zealand, they're going to be 2nd across the line. Really tight here, but look, already a manoeuvre for Canada. The wind has rotated so far. The course is not as planned. Opportunity aplenty for everyone, but it's about finding the wind to get on the foils, and I think New Zealand are building speed. Here we go. Australia, what a move by Slingsby. Swings the boat around on the inside. Didn't think there was room for that, but he's found it. And in the background, Canada as well. They're back in the race. But only boat foiling at the front of the fleet now is Australia. New Zealand again down under 16 kilometres an hour. Ben Ainsley struggling for speed, but Australia, look at him go.
And we're getting information from race management that the race has been shortened. It will terminate at gate number 4.
Ainsley in fourth, up on the foils. That could be enough at this point. He needs to catch Rockwell, Denmark. He needs to be within 2 places of them to make the final. Ainsley's on a charge. Has he left it too late, or can he find a way back into this race?
The battle will be, I think, Emily, correct me if I'm wrong, between Denmark and Great Britain at this point, because there's a lot of points still out there. And look at this, as it's confirmed, Australia, Great Britain, and Denmark, the position they're in right now, they would fall out.
New Zealand take the win. Denmark lined up well here. Can they make it with no more manoeuvres? Ainsley here. One more turn to do. Australia has the right of way. Ainsley turns the boat one last time. He needs to cross clear ahead of the Australians to hope to make the final. It's tight. It's really, really tight.
And Great Britain just gets past.
This is the umpire's penalty GBR.
Oh, he's got to drop behind. Oh, he's got to drop behind. At the finish line, disaster for Great Britain. Oh my word. It went to the umpires, and the umpires have decided it there.